Okay. Hello, everybody. It's me. It's me. Just gonna do this first. Toyota Sarah. Have it, so I'm just gonna gift one. I go put festival sites on there. I go to incomplete. It's gonna be mind blowing. The only PRs I have left are speed traps or speed zones. I've done all my traps. I've done all my trailblazers. I've done all my drift zones. I have not done stories yet. I've not done the drift story. And other stories. I guess we can start a story. Three minutes.
Hey, day troopers and thrill seekers. Welcome to my day trip. Today we're blessed with a special guest. Please welcome Tamaguchi Keiko-san, whom you may know as one of the faces of Yuji's Auto channel.
Thank you, May. Really looking forward to this one. By the way, everyone, spoiler, we are going on the Nanadaru Kokakyo. Prepare to be thrilled.
Okay, this is a group excursion.
Sorry, but it told me I needed pictures. I probably have 428 pictures, so of course. Double check, yeah, work.
Stay together. Hey, why not roleplay as a slower driver? Have your cameras at the ready. Lots of memories to capture. I like to think this convoy is loud, rowdy, yet practical.
I'd like to think I'm not gonna run right the fuck off into the road.
To enter a unique section of road. The award-winning Nanadaru Kokakyo. It's the Loop Bridge. This is a double spiral road that circles up, and up, presenting you with a beautiful view right across to Mount Fuji. Opened for public use in 1981, this unique design won the Tanaka Award for the Japan Society of Civil Engineers in the very same year.
Katie, first 60 times, how are you? I hate this circle bridge. It just... I'm good.
sharp right turn. Be ready for it. This next section of road has a series of hairpin turns. That can be taken a number of ways. Toge racers will want to maximize grip to keep the speed up. Stay competitive. Drifters like to induce oversteer and send it all the way around. I'll admit to trying the odd Scandinavian flick around here. A Scandinavian what, you say? Ask Rob Glenn or Jordan Chambers.
The storyline.
So I was taking that E30 M3 back to the garage one night. I get to a set of lights and hear a revving. Loud, powerful. I look over and there's a Sierra Cosworth begging for a drag race. Well, of course I accepted. And team, let me tell you, I absolutely smoked them. Tight corner ahead. Watch your braking. As we turn in up ahead, we can see right across the Tokyo City docks as we drive along the scenic coastline.
Wait. It said target 3 minutes. You're not gonna make it in 3 minutes if you go through all that. Is there a way I can, like, cut across without, like, hitting anything?
Taking the view out to the Pacific Ocean.
I guess not, because it put me right back on here, which means we're not gonna hit the 3 minutes. Or is it 3 minutes remaining? Which we still might. Oh, let me back up to where I was hitting shit. That slows you down.
Approaching the end of our timeout today. It has been a pleasure to show you the sights of Japan's beautiful coastline.
What the hell? Please tell me it was target that way.
I'm thinking we should race,
Oh,
shouldn't
wait.
we?
Oh, you read my mind. I saw you trying to cut
How
through
is
the
it
day
like?
trip pack, so yeah, let's race.
Game on.
I don't know
I've
what
set
I'm
a marker
doing.
along this road. It's a fast run.
I don't want to see anyone holding back. Day trip's over.
Green, Keiko. See you in the finish.
Oh, Joldagahama Beach. I need to fit this into a day trip. Maybe we can take the cars on the sand.
Eh? No, not my car, May. That sand on this bodywork? I'll go for a buggy. Or Jordy's car?
Oh, no, you'll do no such thing. Those micro scratches would keep me up at night. ready to blast those engines. Tunnel coming up.
Yeeja. Music to my ears.
Finish coming up, right at the end of the tunnel. Push it.
Not gonna make it. That was
I'll
2
remember this
stars,
day
not
for a long
3.
time. Thank you.
God
I
damn
can't
it.
believe this is my actual job.
Hey, with your day trips, you will never work a day in your life. I loved every second.
Well, then I guess we're all in agreement. That was a great day trip. Where to for the next one, May?
Please let me only have to redo the second half. But
Game on then. I've set a marker along this road. It's a fast run.
I don't want to see anyone holding back. Day trip's over.
Agreed, Keiko. See you at the finish.
nope. You know, I wonder, where was the checkpoint? Can I like do a thing that I shouldn't do?
Oh.
That did not work out as planned at all.
Jogadahama Beach. I need to fit this into a day trip. Maybe we could take the cars off the sand.
Trying to find shortcuts and it's not working.
Eh? No, not my car, May. That sand on this bodywork? I'll go for a buggy. Or Jordy's car?
I won't. No, you'll do no such thing. Those micro scratches would keep me up at night.
This is the shortcut method is not pulling in my favor. Okay, like me trailing through a bunch of fences is just not the answer.
Get ready to blast those engines. Tunnel coming up.
Yeeja. Music to my ears.
Finish coming up, right at the end of the tunnel. Push it.
Nope.
I'll remember this day for a long time. Thank you. I can't believe this is my actual job.
Hey, with your day trips, you will never work a day in your life. I loved every second.
Well, then I guess we're all in agreement. That was a great day trip. Where to for the next one, May?
Game on then. I've set a marker along this road. It's a fast
trip's over.
Agreed, Keiko. See you at the finish.
Oh, Jodonohama Beach. I need to fit this into a day trip. Maybe we can take the cars on the sand.
Eh? No, not my car, May. That sand on this bodywork? I'll go for a buggy. Or Jordy's car?
Oh, no, you'll do no such thing. Those micro scratches would keep me up at night. Get ready to blast those engines. Tunnel coming up.
Yeeja. Music to my ears.
Finish coming up. Right at the end of the tunnel. Push it.
I'll remember this day for a long time. Thank you. I can't believe this is my actual job.
Hey, with your day trips, you will never work a day in your life. I loved every second.
Well, then I guess we're all in agreement. That was a great day trip. Where to for the next one, May?
Okay, Corey. What do you want to do now? Okay, Corey. I have set your route to the next May's day trips.
Amazing. Well, you showed us all how it's done, that's for sure.
Should just have renamed this the Nausea Bridge. Faster to fast travel.
Hey, day trippers and thrill seekers. We are nearly ready to head out on one of my favorite excursions. We will be taking in some epic views of the mountains as we travel along one of the most scenic roads, Minami Awa. So, have a last check of your vehicle and let's roll out. A note up top. Just try your best to stick together. This is a group exercise, remember? No racing off, and enjoy the views. Over to the right, way off in the distance, is Tokyo City. It started off much smaller, in this case, just a fishing village we know as Edo. As trade and infrastructure grew, so did the city boundaries, until what we see today as the sprawling, luminous capital of Japan. Now don't we look good? The cars for this day trip will turn heads wherever you go, designed for for pure performance, these modern supercars are amongst the most desirable drives. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of the Horizon Festival, but this one is special. I myself have been writing letters, emails, and sending carrier pigeons to whoever on the festival board would listen. Bring Horizon to Japan. Well, they listened, and just look. Competing at Horizon is earned. To enter, you need to qualify for an invitational event. A fast-paced drive from A to B with multiple start points. It can quickly become a real spectacle. If you make it over the line, then well done. You get a yellow wristband. And with that, access to your first bunch of official Horizon events. Take in the surroundings as we head along this forest road. Housing a thriving ecosystem, this is the perfect place to spot the Honshu Sika deer. Now is a great time to remind you, take photographs, make memories. Take extra care on this road. It's a little more narrow with some tight bends and turns. You can see why, around the midnight hour, those looking for a clearer road, free of daily commuters, might say bring a JDM Classic and push a few limits. But that's not what we're doing right now. No matter how many times I drive this road, I get goosebumps. Now, team, just look at that view and feel the thrill of the raised road right now. And there's another reason why I love going over this. That's right, tunnel, cutting right into the landscape, helping the road snake through the steep terrain. One of our group is lucky enough to be driving the Audi R8. If you are not on a day trip and trying to stay with the pack, then this V10-powered supercar could manage a top speed of 205 miles per hour. With its race car DNA, it has the stability and responsiveness to handle any corner you come up against. When I promise epic views, I deliver Mount Fuji. It's an active stratovolcano, last erupting in 1707. Made up of many layers of lava, ash, cinder, Fuji has an unmistakable near-symmetrical silhouette, towering over us at 3,776 meters to the summit. Remember when I told you about Edo? Well, in Japanese history, that also refers to a period of time. That's right, the Edo period, a prosperous time of growth.
Of growth and crashing into buildings.
Culture and stability. Spanning from 1603 to 1868, and this town, Naraijuku, was the wealthiest post town along the Nakasindo Highway, running all the way to Edo, or as we know it today, Tokyo.
All right, mate, good job. So, day trippers, we will see you soon for part 2 shortly. Make your way there now, if you will. And for us 3, I think we can swing by a speed zone on the way.
Okay, you know about speed zone. It's a zone you have to speed through. Be brave, be quick. I think the Porsche can do it. Can you?
They can, for sure.
Okay, hold your nerve. Foot down.
Hey, thanks, Jordan. I enjoyed that. You know, I quite like your little challenges.
Yeah, why do you think I'm hanging around your day trips like a sore thumb?
That's not how the phrase works, but I get what you're trying to say. We appreciate you, Jordy.
Okay.
Okay, you know about speed zones. It's a zone you have to speed through. Be brave, be quick. I think the Porsche can do it. Can you?
They can, for sure.
Okay, hold your nerve. Foot down.
Oh, shit. Okay. Shit. This is working real well, ain't it? There we go.
Hey, thanks, Jordan. I enjoyed that. You know, I quite like your little challenges.
Yeah, why do you think I'm hanging around your day trips like a sore thumb?
That's not how the phrase works, but I get what you're trying to say. We appreciate you, Jordy.
Hmm.
Okay, that's some nerve. Even I backed down from one or two corners. Okay, so we're not quite done with our day trip just yet. This one's a bit higher pace, but just as scenic. Taking in some beautiful traditional sights as we pass under the Matsumi Great Bridge. So let's roll out. Gonna feel a bit faster in this section of the day trip. As seasons pass, the palette of all of nature's many colors transform every region. From barren white snow where plants are sparse, to spring where flowers explode into vivid life. Japan drastically evolves with the seasons, and each one is such a sight. I have climbed Mount Fuji, by the way, as a part of an expedition. Took 12 long, grueling hours. There's an old Japanese proverb: you are wise to climb Mount Fuji, but a fool to do it twice. I'm taking that on face value. My legs still ache, but the views, oh, you have to do it. Once. This next lineup of cars you should have seen on a racetrack somewhere. But remember, this is a guided tour, not a race. I need time to read you all my nice facts. Tricky corner up ahead. Slow it down. Okay, the reason why you booked on is coming up. The Bandai Azuma Skyline. Bandai Azuma Skyline offers a beautiful drive. It's like a high-speed nature bath and a serious test of your driving skills rolled into one. Now let's not forget to mention, this is one awesome road to drive on. Snaking, turning back on itself, it makes demands from those that push limits. As with many roads in this area, they were built to cut through the expansive forests. Trees are often replanted using techniques that preserve the root systems. So rather than demolish, we simply move. Japan cares for its green spaces. Where transplant is not possible, new growth is the next best option. Turn your attention to the Lotus Exige Cup 430 driving with us. A lighter but more aggressive track car from the British manufacturer, thanks to its carbon fiber body panels and aluminum exhaust, weighing in at just over a metric ton. When Lotus say, simplify, then add lightness, you get this race-ready beast. Okay, I'm gonna do you all a favor. Be
Hi
quiet.
there, how are you doing?
This spot right here is perfect for one thing. Top speed. So floor it.
Hmm.
We have another view of Fuji to your right. Coming up on the left, you'll be able to see a traditional torii gate. These gates represent a passageway between the earthly realm and the sacred realm of the spirits. These gateways, traditionally made from wood and stone, are each a unique work of art.
Right then, ready to switch things up? End this day trip in a blaze of glory? The correct answer is yes, Geordie. I'll also accept a strong affirmative nod of the head. So, we are looking at hitting a speed
That's good,
zone,
glad to
and
hear it.
that is...
We all know what a speed zone is, Jordy. Come on, let's go.
You want to look like a blur to a speed zone camera? You want relentless speed. That's an M's Machine Works Porsche Cayman GT3, built to take tenths off your laps. With the face and engine of a 911, it's been precision engineered to dominate on the time attack circuits. This is a fiercely competitive time attack car, ideal for setting blistering lap times.
Hey, thank you both. Supporting my day trips is, now I'm being serious here, really sweet.
Mate, anytime. I'll keep joining as long as I can add a bit of a twist.
Deal. It's better when you two are here. So if the price to pay is to go fast, that's fine by me.
And that was not how we wanted to do that.
Hey, hey. Hope you had a blast out there. Saw some cool stuff, right?
That we did, May. Okay, I got some events to smash. I'll see you both later.
3 stars. I like it when it's 3 stars.
Wow.
I mean, we've been
Okay.
rolling out
That's
some
really
new
showing me how it's
stuff. I don't know. Did you come to? Are you on web or mobile? I'm gonna stretch. So we've rolled out a couple of new features that I haven't announced yet because they're testing. And I have a little metric tester to see how it works wired up to it right now. And one of them is for people that are browsing the website. Now we are also pushing some updates to ingests and edges today too. But one of the things that's coming, it's there, but it's going to be worked on. Is that like if say you're on the front page or the browse page, and you hover on a preview card. If you hover on a preview card, it's going to take that as an intent and send a signal back to the server to start warming it for if you go to that page. And then if you don't go to that page within 60 seconds, it'll just drop it. I mean, yeah, that costs a tiny bit of bandwidth, but I mean, whatever. And the other thing that we're going to be working on is on-page load intent, which means that if you come directly to a profile, like you typed in your browser valora.tv/rununtilyoufly, while the profile and the chat and everything else is loading, instead of waiting for the player to load, because you've loaded the page at the time of page loading, it'll fire off an intent to the server that says, hey, this person's loading this page, they're going to want the stream. So that way, by the page fully loaded, the stream should be quick to load, or quicker to load. In hoping to be able to make WebRTC the default again. If you are noticing player trouble and you are on LLHLS, spin back around and give WebRTC a try if WebRTC worked fine for you before. There are just some people behind a lot of internet providers that can't do the WebRTC thing, but we're also working, of course, on Veloc, which will be, later this year for native, sooner than that for adaptive. And adaptive, you should be able to. You've used it before, right? I mean, it would just be under the picker thing, settings. I think you have. Again, we have over 1,600 users now, and so my brain, like, people tell me, well, I used this or I did that, and none of it sticks anymore because there's so many people that tell me so many things, and literally does not stick anymore. And I feel bad about that, but it's the truth that, like, there's so much information that goes through my brain that,
Okay, Corey. I have set your route to the next maze day trips.
okay. And we're also alongside updates to our edge router, which now will not only, it'll measure when it's deciding where to send viewers, it's not just going to measure the physical distance. It's not just going to measure the line distance. It's going to measure a total of, I think it's 10 or 11 metrics. And I'm saying it's going to measure those metrics in about 250 milliseconds, so about a quarter of a second, on our edge router per person to help better deliver. And on the ingest side, as everybody knows, we have the 2 ingests in the EU. And as of today, in testing, at the same publish.valora.tv, our ingest router now has an ingest and VOD worker out of Chicago, covering US and Canada, with a fully loaded, full rack dedicated ingest in Chicago. So that is our first ingest outside of our 2 in the EU, alongside our fleet of edges. And so that is another step forward. The reason it took so long to do it and get it right is because our core infrastructure, as everybody knows, is in the EU. And we had to figure out, okay, how are we going to set up a full dedicated box plus the VOD worker thoughts and the thumbnail worker thoughts and that stuff, which all have their own boxes, you know, small boxes. Like the VOD worker and thumbnail worker are tiny boxes compared to ingest boxes. And we wanted to make sure, because the idea of using like an NFS mount or an rsync across an ocean for VODs, not the best way to handle it. So we wanted to figure out an affordable way, but a quality way, to replicate the VOD worker and the thumbnail worker alongside a North American, in this case US, Chicago, ingest. And we finally, over the last 4 or 5 days, nailed down, okay, this is, and I privately tested it. If you guys saw me testing in the last couple of days, just running the Valora loop, you know, on a test stream, we finally figured out how to get a perfect replica of EU's ingest, VOD worker, and thumbnail worker into another location without it being expensive to a point that it could kill a platform. We would like to get more of our Australia user base back, so our next target will be strengthening infrastructure across Australia. That's probably what I'm going to be spending a good chunk of next week on, is making international phone calls. And of course, South Africa, and if T is still here, South Africa on the viewers side. Forgive me for yawning. I don't know why I'm so tired in the middle of the day. Anyway, South Africa on the viewer side, in the last 60 days, last 2 months, South Africa has made up over 48% of stream viewership on the platform. So the fact that South Africa alone is half of the viewership on our platform, that is an area that we have our edge in South Africa that we had. we did shut down the Joburg Edge, the Johannesburg Edge, because it being inland and the way the pipes come in to South Africa, Johannesburg off of that was having to pull from Cape Town anyway, so anybody that was trying to pull from the Johannesburg Edge was basically getting a line it's coming into Cape Town and then over the land shooting over to Johannesburg and then shooting back to Cape Town, and it was just this unreliable link. So we completely killed that edge, and strengthened our edge in Cape Town. And even people that live closer to Johannesburg and live even more at a distance outward in that direction are getting better performance today native off of Cape Town, because that is where the international line comes in. That is the main port into South Africa. So people in South Africa off of a stronger Cape Town edge are receiving better performance now than any other edge configuration would make possible. And we're going to continue to refine that. There is one other port that we could take in South Africa. And it would be the third most populated city in South Africa, Durban, and if we were to stage an edge there, the benefit actually there, where it would benefit people, is not Cape Town, it's not Joburg, it's not those folks. It would be the line that comes in there goes up through not just the rest of the country northward, but it's the main line to the rest of the continent itself northward of that. So if we wanted to provide to the countries above that, when we expand where the countries that are bordering South Africa become user bases that are like, we need stronger edges, the next edge will actually be within South Africa, but more northern in positioning, because it will serve those bases better going straight up versus going into the individual countries across the continent. And that's why, we're going to have some field studies done down in Australia as well to try to figure out the same kind of mapping pattern of where this is where the main line, where this is where the one or two, because sometimes there's two, one or two main lines that, it might not be in the biggest city. Just because it's the biggest city or the biggest hub or the biggest data center down there doesn't mean it is the biggest or the main line from other countries to that country. It just means it's the biggest hub for within that country. So our edge strategy has changed dramatically. We have, as you know, 4 or 5 edges in the North America, in the United States. We're going to cut those down, believe it or not. I know that sounds like, when you hear, you're going to cut edges, that sounds bad. We're going to decrease edges by at least a couple in the United States. Probably by July. For people in Canada, and this is not, we haven't scoped a location yet, and it's not based on where our users are in Canada. It will be based on internet providers in Canada, because even though in a lot of jurisdictions throttling is not allowed, It's like when you go over to like the EU and stuff, like here in America, they throttle people like crazy and do terrible shit. And Canada does a little in some places where it's not heavily regulated. And in the EU, throttling's not a fucking problem at all. But there are some ISPs in Canada that, political or not political, do your research. It's out there, and there are very good cases that point to both political and non-political reasons why that there are some ISPs in Canada that are doing throttling against services that do not have a hub in Canada. And so when we place a hub in Canada, it will not be about where the majority of people are in Canada. It will be about where the best hub in Canada is to appease the internet providers that have a stick up their ass. Basically, that's the nicest way I can put that. Since I can't come up there and physically put a foot up their ass or rip the stick out of their ass, we're gonna, put a box in a place that makes them happy. The fuck ever. But yeah, our edge plan for America and Canada and South Africa have both been changed by a lot of research, weeks of research and findings. And the shit that I've found it's absolutely brilliant. And if you can find somebody that can get you the actual maps of where the main ports come in, because sometimes the ones you get off the internet are not accurate. But if you can find somebody high up enough, either in the data center industry, or if you're talking to data centers like you're going to be a customer like us, buying and leasing and renting and whatever servers, across the globe, a lot of them are willing to lie to you to get your business. So you're better to find either internet providers, because they're going to be honest about where the lines are, because they have nothing to lie about when I'm like saying, hey, look, I run a business that's headquartered in Delaware. I'm sitting in my office in Texas. Our streaming platform's headquarters is in Germany. Tell me where your internet line comes in. Like, they know we're not trying to buy an internet connection from them, so they have no reason to lie to us, They get very honest. Like, they will send us over to somebody high up at the business department. And the other place that we've learned that's really good is in jurisdictions, in countries, in big cities, etc., that have either local, state or provincial, etc., governments that regulates it. You can schedule to have a phone call with the people that regulate it at the government level, and they will tell you exactly, like, they'll tell you the coordinates, like, so you could pull up a map yourself and type in the coordinates of where these pipelines come in. And so I'm trying to schedule one of those calls within Canada. I'm trying to schedule one of those calls within Australia, which that one's a big time zone thing. Our added edge in Singapore, because our, Australia edge is in Sydney, which is all the way to one side of Australia, which is a port, although I've been talking to the data center there, and they've suggested that we actually move to a data center about, they didn't say miles, but I, convert everything to miles for my math. They said about 30 miles north. Like, if we could move to a data center 30 miles north that they work with, like that for web serving and stuff, fine, but for video serving, just moving 30 miles north from where we are in Sydney, Australia right now for that side, 30 miles north, we will gain a 15 to 20% performance increase for the same price we're paying today, because of where the line comes in versus line comes in and the data center we're in is just a little bit south of them. So if we move to the data center, that's like literally line comes in, data center's like a block away from that. That's going to improve that. Again, up to about 20%. And so getting this information of where things come in has changed the strategy. And it's not more edges in more places, because that's proven wrong, because we proved it wrong with South Africa. Again, having the Johannesburg edge, even though we had people in that area, they were suffering. The second that I logged in to the remote IPMI and said power off Johannesburg, the second we did that, the people in South Africa were getting better connections out of Cape Town, even though they were within, they're hours away from Cape Town and minutes away from Johannesburg. Shutting Joburg off made their connection better because they were going straight to the main port instead of server hopping inland and then their ISP having to get it to them, because then their ISP, who's probably on the main port in as well, we're on the same ports as the ISPs are on. And if we can start getting our stuff aligned to the same lineage that providers are on, you won't need to have edges in every city. You won't need to have 4 or 5 edges in a country. You just need to have 1 or 2 that are tied to where the actual providers mainline are, and where the providers, not just their main line, but their main uplink to international waters or to other countries. And so our edge strategy of let's throw a bunch out there and we'll make content delivery better. Well, yes, at a company of Amazon's size with AWS and Cloudflare with their size, they can do math for millions of people at once in 10 milliseconds, and fall back into whatever they want to. But they also have a lot of data centers of their own where they have a lot more granular control that us as a business that can't afford to be like, oh, we're going to buy a whole warehouse of our own, which we can't. I mean, I used to have my own. I did have my own half of one. Back about 10 years ago, I did own about 12 now, because that would have been 26. That was end of 13, 14 that was still active. So about 12 years ago, I did own half a data center. I don't anymore, and I am grateful for it. Getting out of that was getting out of the biggest headache I had ever had in my life, because I was also working as a large-scale hosting provider and a partner to another large-scale hosting provider, which is why we had half a data center that we were sharing with the provider. And I can tell you that was not a fun business to be in. And then, of course, I've had little warehouse-sized ones that, I personally went and built myself. At one point, I had one back home in Maine, but, it was this old service garage where they used to service fucking vehicles in it. And it just so happened it was a couple, a block and a half off of one of Maine's strongest internet lines. And I'm like, can you guys feed your best lines in? And we ended up putting server racks into it and new cooling into it. And I ended up selling that for a really healthy profit, 3 years after I built it. And then I went down and I built one in Florida that was exactly the same, and turned around and sold that to another hosting company. And that stuff is what continued funding things like the radio station and my other projects. So, and the great days, because I was hands-on then, I could travel then. So I was able to do things that I'm not able to do now physically. So for me, it was cool to be able to travel and be hands-on and be like, look, I'm the one that's stringing the Ethernet wires through the walls. I'm the one that's, meeting with the contractors as they're breaking ground to go underground and service a full-size wire, not just some little tiny-ass wire, a full-size, wire for our own miniature data centers. It was a fun experience. It was a great learning experience. After I sold mine off, I went to work helping other businesses, letting them pay me to come install their centers. That made great money for years. And being a person who lived in Maine, grew up in Maine, was raised in Maine, Maine winters are brutal. And so it was an excuse that I would get to go to like Florida and Georgia and work with companies there that wanted to open either, small garage all the way up to like warehouse sized data centers. And I would go in and I would help them run the wiring. I would help them plan the wiring. For wireless monitoring devices, I would help them plan their meshes so their, people that are monitoring as staff could walk around with devices and get monitors wirelessly that were as accurate as if they were wired, And those meant no responsibility on me other than making sure they work. Plus, getting my flight and hotel paid for. At least 1 to 2 meals a day paid for by somebody else. Plus a good $20,000-$30,000 for doing the work. But that was back, over 10 years ago when that kind of work paid that kind of money. Like, I remember when I first started doing that for other businesses, I could get my flight, hotel, 2, sometimes 3 meals a day. Some of them would pay for breakfast too. Pay for anything. Like if I needed taxis, transport, anything, receipts, I'd get reimbursed. Plus pay me. I could make $40,000 to $50,000 staging a data center for somebody. Plus the flight, the hotel, and all of the other benefits. It was a great work. But then that $40,000 to $50,000 kind of went down to the 35 to 30, and then like one winter, some businesses weren't doing so well, and they're like, we can pay for your flight and we can give you 1 meal a day and your transportation, but we can only give you like $20,000. And I'm like, okay. And so I still did it. And it sat on that number for a couple of years. And then they were like, okay, we can't pay for your meals, transportation, or hotel anymore. Well, the second it went to, we can't pay for your hotel anymore. The flight, that's not that expensive. Food, if I'm in a hotel that has a kitchenette or something, I could cook my own shit. Or if I go to good places that were good, local, affordable places, I could eat well for a lot. But when they said they couldn't pay for the hotel, I'm having these people pay for my hotels in the previous agreements for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, So like when you're staying in a hotel for that period of time, anywhere from 6 weeks to, 12 weeks, like 3 months, 4 months. If they're not paying for the hotel anymore and you're still only getting $20,000, you're putting a couple to few $1,000s out of your paycheck to the hotel. And, I went down, and I realized, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. We're going to cancel the contract. Because I realized, I'm like, I'm going to be paying, $700-800 a week to stay at a good hotel. You times that by 12 weeks, and you're only getting $20,000. You've spent a few $1,000s just on the hotel alone. And then you got to pay for everything but the dinners, and it ended up being not, the pay kept going downhill to the point it wasn't effective enough or reasonable enough for me to go down there, which sucked because I loved getting away from the winter. So then instead, I had family and friends down there, so instead I would just, go down to Florida and stay with them. And like if I found a networking job here and there, and it wouldn't be like a multi-week job, it would be if I could find a networking job that like 4 or 5 days, $2,000 to $3,000, it was like, okay, that covered my flight so I could have a vacation, and that's what it turned into. And I did that for 3 or 4 winters before I just stopped going to Florida. It's like, and then I only went to Florida if I had a music or radio option, because it was just like there was no cost benefit for me to do it anymore. But back when I could go down there and have flight, hotel, 3 meals, transportation, and $40,000 to $50,000, fuck yeah. 3 to 4 months away from winter and make $40,000 to $50,000, and all your food is paid for, all your travel's paid for, your stay is paid for. Of course, you'd have to be stupid to not take those jobs, because it was more money than I would make repairing computers, running computer shops, etc. back home. And I could always keep somebody else running my shop or running my businesses for me, as far as my local stuff, so I could go to Florida and get the fuck out of the snow. And now that I live in Texas and it gets hotter than fucking hell down here, I'm like, which, I mean, Florida does too. Like I always said, get out of Florida before you get too deep into the spring, because the heat starts to roll in, the humidity really would start to roll in, and you would just feel like you would get out of the shower, towel off, and while you were toweling off, the humidity would make you feel like you'd start to sweat and be gross. And it's like, I just got out of the fucking shower. Like, climate matters, and time of year for vacations matters. Like, you don't go there, like, don't ever go to Florida in the summer or too early in the fall. I learned that lesson twice. We had family come up to Maine from Florida to see Maine in the fall, because Maine in the fall is so beautiful. And they asked me, they're like, well, why don't you come down to Florida with us right now? When we fly back, why don't you fly back with us? I'm like, sure, why not? It was still hot as fuck. Like, I have this one thing, and I've said this to a lot of people over my life, and I truly believe in it. You can always put more clothes on, but you can only take so much off before you get arrested for it. And that's the truth. Because, you can't be naked in public, so once it gets really hot, you can only take so much off, and you can't take your skin off either. But if it's cold, you can put more clothes on and get warm. So, for me, it's like, the cold, even though, like, with health conditions and the things that I've damaged, like my legs, my knees, things like that, even though the cold does some things to those parts of my body, I pick the cold over the heat any day, because of that principle of you can always put more on. And so anyway, I am going to be right back. And then after I be right back, I'm going to go through and we're going to do, I don't know, how many parts are there there's 2 parts, because there's 6 stars. There's 2 parts to the Tokyo City day trip, which will help us continue finishing up, because we have how many stars? We have 9 out of 27, so we are a third of the way to completing the day trips. So that'll be fun. Hopefully there's not drift zones in them, but I feel like there's eventually going to be one. And then at some point we're going to eat. And then after we eat, I think tonight Chloe gets to get her golden wristband. Which, by the way, I have stuff in my collection journal. Because as you all know, I already unlocked Legend Island. I have grinded the fuck out of this game. Done all my wristband events, all my Horizon Life events, all my road racing, dirt racing, cross-country racing, all my bonus boards, all my road rivals, all speed traps, all danger signs, all drift zones, all trailblazers, all Horizon Stunt Party, all skills. I am over halfway to completing all of Horizon Legend complete. Not just getting the gold wristband, but completing everything in gold wristband. And I am well over halfway to with my Master Explorer on the Discover Japan thing. Let's see my rewards. Day trip decal. 25,000 credits. I didn't really need them, but thank you. And a cowboy hat. No thanks. But as you can see there, discovery complete. The street racing, street rivals, photography of locations complete, regional mascots complete, car collection. I am at 3,990 out of 4,175 on my car collection. Car upgrades 470, garages 2,000 out of 2,000, houses completed. You know, so I have grinded through most of Forza Horizon 6 in, like, it's been, what has it been, a month since it's been out now, maybe? It's about a month since early access, right? Since the game came out. Well, yeah, because we're coming to the end of a season, so it's been about a month. So yeah, it's been about a month since the game came out, and I am probably 80% or more completed of the game. Um, so that's crazy, but the rest of the stuff that's left is the grindy shit and the speed zones, which I'm not good at. Like, I'll show my map again. Like, this is all I have left, guys, is I have those speed zones. I have this drift club story at speed zone. I have to finish the food delivery. I'm at 4 out of 9 on that. I have these speed zones through here. I have this day trip. I have that day trip. And then I have the AutoZine. There's 6 chapters of that. And I guess then that's it. So, like, as far as that kind of stuff. Oh, there's another one here. The Yuji's Auto. I have 6 chapters of that. So, like, I really, as far as stuff that's uncompleted on the map, you browse my map, and other than speed zones and the fast food delivery job, fast food, but food delivery job, all I have left is the Horizon stories on the map. And then it's down to dirt rivals, cross country rivals, and just grindy stuff. Which I don't know if I'll do all of that on stream because some of that might be boring and I might just sit here and do it off stream. Or I can sit here and we can put it in the just chatting category and I'll just make the screen tiny and let Anna do them, you know? Because really, it is boring-ish. I mean, because I've done all the races and some of them I've done more than once, and they will come up in the seasonals. Plus, I don't know, do I have dailies I need to do when I come back? Spend 10,000 credits on update grades on any Japanese car and drive 5 miles in any off-road vehicle. Well, I will have to come back around to those because I want to get this next step of day trip done when we come back. So guys, will be right back. Hang tight. Okay. I am back. I am back. So,
Welcome, day trippers and thrill seekers. I'm Mei Hasagawa, and I will be your guide on this very cool, very urban day trip. So, get ready for a guided tour of the sights and lights of Tokyo City. Have your cameras ready, and let's roll out.
Stay together as much as possible. Tokyo City is a busy place with a lot of traffic. Other road users may not have the same driving skills as you. I like to put you in cars that turn heads. It doesn't always mean supercar. Sometimes it means, oh, I have not seen one of those in years. It's hard to imagine, but if you were here in 1971, it was a world without the Honda Civic. You would have had to wait a whole year. You would then have to wait until 1974 for Honda to produce its sportier model seen driving with us right now, the Honda Civic RS.
I love the little history in the stories, you know? It's just fun.
Welcome to Shibuya Crossing. Outside of Horizon Festival times, this is one of the busiest pedestrian crossings in the world. With around 3,000 people crossing at peak hours, when the sign says you can go, you have to go. It's not nicknamed the Shibuya Scramble for nothing. To your right, that striking structure is, of course, Tokyo Tower, the second tallest man-made structure in Japan, originally purposed as a broadcast tower. Every 5 years, the tower gets a fresh coat of paint, taking a whole year to complete the job. Using, get this,
Thank you.
28,000 liters of paint. I mentioned that you never have to go too far to see nature, and Jikugaya Ginko Avenue is one of my favorite examples. Great for car spotting, may I add? This urban area is lined with a corridor of trees, bringing year-round color to the city. And in autumn, it really is such a sight. I want to bring special attention to the day tripper in the Civic RS, one of my absolute best friends coming all the way from the UK with Jordan Chambers, who you'll meet soon. We always had a dream of joining the Horizon Festival together. So I want to shout out to great friends, good times, and fast cars. Okay, everyone. Up ahead, we need to come to a stop and park your cars in the designated area as we head into the next part of this day trip.
I love her little commentary, even if it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. They took time to do
I love retro
storytelling.
cars more than anyone I know. But you're about to take this Honda Civic Type R for a spin. Well, more than a spin. Hold on to your hat, yeah?
All right, well, don't be too long. See you at the next part of the Tokyo City day trip, okay?
I'm on my way. I'm going to take a more leisurely route, I think. See you soon.
Okay, May, looking forward to it. We're doing the opposite, by the way, whatever the opposite of leisurely is.
I'm sure you'll figure it out, Jordy. Talk about an upgrade, right? A long way from the first generation you were just driving. But you know, you have to respect your elder. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this beauty, would we?
Your overlays should be fine. Like, we haven't had to change our chat overlays or anything. Gonna have to redo that. And yeah,
Okay,
it should
troopers.
just be the key.
I hope you enjoyed part 1 of the Tokyo City day trip. Take a moment to stretch and have a break
And
before we set off again.
make sure that
I'll call you all when we
YouTube
are
did a
good to go.
lazy reconnect.
I'm on my way. I'm gonna take a more leisurely route, I think. See you soon.
Okay, May, looking forward to it. We're doing the opposite, by the way, whatever the opposite of leisurely is.
I'm sure you'll figure it out, Jordy. Talk about an upgrade, right? A long way from the first generation you were just driving. But you know, you have to respect your elders. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this beauty, would we?
Okay, day trippers.
Yeah, it will
I
be
hope you enjoyed part 1 of the Tokyo City day trip.
tomorrow.
Take a moment to stretch and have a break
Yep,
before
the
we
new
set off
song
again. I'll call you all
drops
when we are good to go.
tomorrow. The new album drops Friday. I don't remember if YouTube Music waits until my time zone or if they roll it out. 'Cause I think I know Spotify sometimes, like, probably T has it already because his time zone in Australia probably has it already. But I don't announce that they're out until I can see them myself. And then when I see them, I'm like, okay, I can announce this out. You know? So it'll be out.
Okay,
In less
Corey,
than 12
what's
hours,
next?
most likely. Which is exciting. I mean, it'll be on Apple Music, it'll be on YouTube Music, it'll be on Spotify. Might be on Pandora. There's been a thing about that I don't understand what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. Like when you search my name on Pandora, my name shows up 3 times, but it will not let you create a station based on me, and I don't understand it.
All right, everyone.
A viewer
Time
brought
to
that
hit the
to
road.
me, and I'm like, okay,
Now
well, we gotta
this
fucking
is
fix
the
it.
part you have
And we
all
will.
been waiting for.
But that's
An
my music
iconic
team.
place
I
for
don't
Japanese
touch that
car
stuff.
culture,
I
where you never know
sing,
who
I
will
write,
turn up.
sing, record,
That's right, team. Daikoku PA.
you
So
know,
what are we waiting for?
and they handle the
roll out.
rest. So for me, I don't know. You know?
Daikoku PA. Now, I'm sure you know what that means, but for all those... To the back, it means parking area. Tucked in under the highway, this PA is world famous. I call this convoy nothing but Nissan, for obvious reasons. All shapes and sizes, this is a Nissan Parade. Every badge of every car manufacturer if you wait long enough at Daikoku. Of course, you can always guarantee a JDM showing, but US and Euro imports will sometimes roll in and get the cameras snapping.
Oh, that's true. I took my car there last week and ended up staying for 3 hours talking to this one group of people. I do like talking, you know. And car people want to be around car people. And Daikoku is full of them. I have to mention the Nissan Silvia with us right now. Nissan's S chassis has always been a go-to drifting platform, as well as a car that is just a joy to drive. But you know me, if I can slide a car around a corner, I probably will.
I do like the little silly storyline. I do.
We're getting close. Daikoku PA is just up ahead. Make sure you roll in with style.
I have the pleasure to introduce Jordan Chambers. You may know him from his drifting exploits and Horizon legend, Nakamoto Midori-san.
Thank you, May.
Hello, everyone. So happy to meet you all. May, please, it would be an honor to race. In fact, I insist, Daikoku can wait for now.
I normally say stick together, but scratch that. This is a race. Sightseeing, are you, Jordy?
No, I'm locked in.
I'll leave you to focus then.
Right.
Okay then.
I mean, can you do that with Apple? I really don't know what people can do with it. I'm so out of touch with streaming services. Like, I prefer the days when it was CDs and cassettes, and I love my vinyl collections and stuff, you know. For me, it's hard, you know.
Now that was a race.
Yeah, it absolutely was exactly that, May.
Agreed. Hope we can do it
Okay.
again soon.
Oh, enjoy.
See you around.
Another 3, folks.
How do you do it? We are not slow, but you make us look it.
Oh, I made more friends now. How am I on my friend collection journal? Ooh, I got a car. I need 1, 2. I just need 2 more people on my friends list. Cool. And then that category will be done. Okay, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat. I wonder if I like get in an off-road vehicle and I turn Anna on, if it'll count for the day. I have to go back because my dumb brain. In any off-road, okay, it's just off-road. Change car. Filter. Off-road. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and I'm going to eat, and then I will see you guys after that to do whatever my other daily was, and then I'm going to wrap up, and Chloe's going to do her thing. So I will see you guys in a bit.
Okay, Corey, what do you want to do next?
Okay, guys, I don't know why that wasn't triggering. But 435 out of 619 cars. Photograph. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna do this little day trip.
Listen up, day trippers and
Because
thrill
I got a
seekers.
lot of fucking
I've got a
pictures out of
special
these
day
day
trip
trips
planned.
because they're all in
Very
different
special
vehicles.
cars
So
just for today.
gotta get
We will
some
be
more
heading out
pictures
soon,
out of them.
taking in the lush forests, glistening lakes, and the area's magnificent shrines. And of course, there may be a nice surprise lined up, if my good friend Jordan manages to keep his word. So, let's get ready to roll out.
All right, boring rules time.
And again, 3 more photos.
Please stay together. I'd like you to see what I see, and I don't want to lose anyone. I've planned this route meticulously. This is Shirakawa-go, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, famous for its traditional Gasho-style farmhouses with hand-thatched roofs using passed-down through the generations techniques. Set in this lush, verdant valley, it's as if stepping into the past. As we enjoy the day trip, I want you to feel strong. So that's why I selected this convoy of 4x4 vehicles, legroom for days and made to tame any road. Amongst our car selection today is the Mitsubishi Montero. Or if you're from the UK, well, funnily enough, it's called the Mitsubishi Shogun. Maybe a more apt term for driving around the prefectures of Japan, but whatever you call it, this SUV has stood the test of time. This day trip is all about the more serene, green, slower-paced Japan. We have one of the world's fastest cities, and with the arrival of the Horizon Festival, it's faster than ever. Take in your surroundings. Enjoy being far away from the fast pace of city life. If you take one thing from this day trip, it's to appreciate stillness. Slow down once in a while. We have a very special guest with us today, Takehiro-san from Opus FM. Someone who does not need to be told to move at a slower pace. His main mode of transportation is usually a bicycle. But he wanted to try out some day trip driving action and handling it like a pro. Watch this sharp right coming up. As you turn in, off to your left, you have a stunning view of the mountain range, perfectly reflected off the lake's surface. Take that sight in, everybody. Japan has many ancient shrines. Be sure to learn about the customs and rules before you visit. These are places of spirituality, of peace, quiet, and contemplation. Every shrine has its own history. At some, you can pick up a charm that provides protection or brings good fortune in different areas of life, such as health, success, prosperity. A good friend of mine has been renewing them every year. I have one for safety on the road, and it seems to work. Okay, so last corner coming up, and heading onto the bridge where, let me see. Yes, he's here.
May, I lay down a challenge. A race. A simple race. No twists or gotchas.
All right, I'm in. Just so you know, kind of a pro on these roads now, so try to keep up.
Now, I know, May says stick together, stay close by, and other catchphrases, but this is a race. So ignore all that.
When are you gonna drop the hammer, Jordy? I thought you would be long gone.
Oh, I'm biding my time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. In a totally chill, friends race way, of course.
Finish line is close. Winner gets a free day trip pass.
Thank you, everyone, for being such great day trippers. You've been wonderful guests and racers.
No problem, May. And anytime.
Have a safe journey home, all, and I'll see you on another nice and chill day trip.
Seems like you got on well with that Hellcat. Looking fast, my friend.
Okay, Corey. I have set your route to the next maze day trips.
Listen up, day trippers and thrill seekers. We're about to set off on a day trip, and I'll be your host. On this outing, we will navigate the mountain roads, taking in the epic views from up high, before heading into the cold, snowy climes. So set your climate control to toasty, and let's roll out.
These cars we have the pleasure of driving.
More car pictures. Gotta love it.
Driving today have all been built for racing in an era of fierce competition, both on the track and in the paddock, shaping motorsport for years to come. Driving along with us is a car that changed the course of automotive history, the Lamborghini Miura P400, created as the fastest production car in the world in 1966. Keep in mind, this was the first time ever the public had seen a high-performance production road car with a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive layout. For a true sports car, this is now considered the blueprint for ultimate performance. This route leads to the Sekisutsu Ski Resort, covered as you are about to experience in year-round snow. Perfect for a snowboarding holiday, or you just want to go extreme off-road. Pack a hot drink, and you're good to go. Coming up is one of my favorite parts of this particular excursion, the Yuki no Otani. The Tateyama Kurobe Alpine route carves through the thick snow, creating these man-made snow corridors. Depending on snowfall, these walls can reach a height of 20 meters in height, or 66 feet, if that's how you visualize things. Heads up, sharp right turn onto the snow when we come out of the corridor. Stay alert! A little spoiler alert for the end of our excursion. What goes up? That's right, must come down. I'm sure many of you have taken to the slopes here, but this place is significant. If you remember back to Nakamoto Midori-san and her wristband event, well, it was at this very resort where she earned it. A part of Horizon Japan history, and you are very close to where she set off from. Did you know that there are monsters in this area? That's right. Yeah, no kidding. Snow monsters. All right. Not actual monsters, but they look like them. The snow here comes down so heavy that the trees get a misshapen jacket of fluffy snow frozen in place by the cold winds. And if you squint, they kind of look like snow monsters.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the serenity of a drive up the mountain road to this point to what normally functions as a ski run. But not today. So, the challenge. I want you to head down, slip, slide, get air, and look cool doing it. I'll be the judge. Good luck.
All right, show me something special down the ski run. So, I wanted to send you down the mountain in a Lambo. And let's be honest, there's only one choice. The Huracan Storato. All-terrain tires as standard, so you know exactly what this car wants to do. You don't have to control it. Just let it slide, I say.
I hope you enjoyed that day trip. And lucky for you, there's a lot more to see around this area.
Thanks, May. Great job.
You didn't do too bad yourself. See you all very soon.
Okay, Corey. I have set your route to the next Maze day trips.
I taught them everything they know. That's basically me doing all that.
Welcome back. Let's continue the day trip. I hope you had time for a hot drink to warm your bones. And for this part, we have some cool classics. Some real motoring heritage on display. Well, there's no need for me to say any more. Let's roll out.
You know the drill. Stay together for the best experience. Don't get lost. Oh, and remember to take photos. We are going past the Hirosaki Castle. This Hirayama-style castle was construction complete in 1611, a long time ago. Right now, though, the castle is a very popular tourist destination for those seeking this type of traditional stone and wood architecture. With the high density of cherry blossom trees, you have to visit in the springtime when it's at its most resplendent. Continuing our classic theme for this day trip, I've switched genres slightly. You're all driving some form of classic rally car. Whether it's the absolutely monstrous Quattro or the nimble 205, pair them with a driver and co-driver and you can straighten out any road. We have multiple surface changes on this route, from loose surfaces to grippy asphalt. Make sure you're dialed in before you put your foot down. Okay, day trippers, we have our most technical road section ahead. Have fun, but keep to the road at all times. Now let me guess why you are all here. We've all seen Initial D, and as a result, we've all wanted to spend some time on Mount Haruna in some sort of iconic car. As long as it's capable of handling the snaking turns. I don't know about you, but if I see a retro classic, I always stop and have a look. Soak in the nostalgia. That nostalgia coupled with Mount Haruna might be the ultimate driving experience here in Japan. Look at us. Come on. One of the most iconic cars among us is the Ford Escort RS 1800 Mark II, dominating rally across the world between 1975 and 1979. In 1979, it had even more success, outperforming the rest of the teams by an insurmountable margin during the world's most prestigious rally competition. You are good to speed up a bit on this section. We have some long straights and sweeping corners to enjoy. You come to May Hasegawa's day trips for two things: the best cars and epic views. Now, You're driving cool cars and just taking that view. I aim to deliver.
Alright, we brought you some retro, something iconic. Now it's time to fast forward and get into something a touch more modern. You'll feel a lot more going on under the hood, and you'll need it.
Right, so, danger sign to end the day. That's right, take this beast, floor it, line it up to the ramp, and try to land with some dignity.
Jordan, just so you know, I would never let you do this for our other day trippers.
That's okay. I know our good friend here can handle it. No problem.
Well, I guess you gotta go fast then. See you on the ground.
You are driving 40 years worth of technological advancements since the Escort Mark II. All-wheel drive now, for a start. You've got 380 brake from the EcoBoost powered 1.6 turbo, and enough aero to at least try to keep you on the ground. You won't be doing that.
I can't thank you all enough. I hope it's been as much fun for you as it always is for me.
Thank you, May. We've all had the best time. See you at the next one?
I'll hold you both to that. I appreciate ya.
Okay, Corey. What do you want to do?
Oh, what? Wow. I'll admit. I don't think I've launched that far. Congrats.
Day trippers and thrill seekers, I have a wonderful excursion for all of us today. We will speed past the tall trees of Kitayama Big Daisugi on our way to an iconic driving location. So last call for checks and questions. Nothing? Great, let's roll out.
Day trip rules. Try to stick together. You're my team. I want you to see what I see, and I don't want any of you to get lost. What better company to drive along the coast than some classic muscle? Strong, sturdy, powerful? But that's enough about me. Coming up to our first incredible view. This expressway bridge reaches right across the bay and under the Santa Pass, a stunning viewpoint for those looking for epic vistas. It feels so exhilarating to be above the water. Take it all in as we are about to enter the tunnel up ahead. As the expressway straightens to the tunnel entrance, we slice left through the hillside, with a series of raised roads and tunnels as we head towards our next point of interest. The acoustics of these long, rounded tunnels capture the reflected sound of anything inside and throw it right back at you, creating a cacophony of sound. If you ever get a new car to try and want to hear it at its meanest, this is the place to do it. Take photos anytime you want. Fill your camera with shots of cars, landmarks, gorgeous skies. Go wild. As you drive around Japan outside of my day trips, you will see speed traps and huge ramps. These PR stunts are placed here by the Horizon Festival. Why? Festival buzz, of course. So, if you see one, you know what to do. Sharp right corner ahead. Eyes on the road. Going anywhere nice? Would love it if you rejoined the day trip. Watch your braking up ahead. Sharp right corner as we follow the forest road. Braver drivers may wish to venture off-road around areas like these to explore for themselves. You'll notice one of our convoy has a real bite. That's a Plymouth Cuda 426 Heavy. The front end's vertical slats were designed to resemble the smile of its namesake, the Barracuda. Underneath the hood, things are even more fearsome. The 426 Hemi engine was nicknamed the Elephant due to its cast iron block making up a part of its 843-pound weight. Okay, team, we need to park up ahead. Bring your car to a full stop. Ah, there's drivin.
I got a little challenge for you. See that? That's the Challenger. This one has serious acceleration and loves to be thrown around. A perfect partner for a skill drive.
Do whatever you... can to chain skills together and notch up a mega skill score before you reach the end. can't compete with this. Though I will try. You think I could run a day trip? This is the bamboo forest. Bamboo is a plant. It's very fast at growing. No, I'll leave it to May, the expert.
You got any good fishing facts for us, mate?
Oh, I got so many. But you have to be on a day trip to hear them.
Sorry, yeah, forgot this is your actual job. Guess I better book in again.
It's another 3-star, so that should be the last of the day trip stuff. Amazing.
This one means a lot to me. My day trip buddy. Hope you enjoyed them. Now, go check your journal.
I don't know how you top that. Seriously, maximum skill.
Yep. Master Explorer day trips are done. All the points. 25,000 credits, a new Audi, and a new Toyota Forza edition. So day trips are now done. That's one more thing crossed off my map. So my map is down to speed zones, food delivery, Drift Club Japan, the Moto Autozine, and Yuji's Autos. So yeah, my map is down to basically the food delivery and a couple more stories, and then it's just boring run-of-the-mill like rivalry shit. So yeah. I find that amazing in itself. So, yeah, guys, thank you for being here, and thank you for all that as we did all the day trip stuff, which is amazing. And I'll probably be on tomorrow and try to knock out some more story stuff. Just because I'm getting my maps so clean and so like close to being done. So anyway, guys, remember, always pay it forward. Simple gestures matter. It might not be a lot to you, might be life changing to somebody else, to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones. If you can go see them, go see them. If you can't go see them, call them, text them. Life is short. Don't be a fucking terrible human being. It doesn't look good on you. It doesn't look good on me. It doesn't look good on anybody else. And always strive to make a dent in the universe. Don't forget, guys, my single, Route 1, comes out tomorrow. If you are in a country where it has already surpassed midnight and you're into the 15th, it should be out for you on Spotify already. For the rest of everybody and other streaming platforms, it will be out on the 15th, our time. And my album, Still Worth Singing, celebrating America's 250th, is out Friday on all streaming platforms. Thank you, guys. And Chloe will see you shortly. See ya.